If you don't want nothing wrong with what you're wearing.
There's nothing wrong with what you got on.
You're not neat.
Explain to me why during spring break we're getting up early and taking you to school.
Because I have class.
What class do you have on spring break? Economics.
We're trying to finish the syllabus.
Morning, everyone. Welcome back to paradise. Here we are. It is Tuesday. My overachieving daughter decides to take a class where they're going to continue to go to school during spring break. Don't know what to think about that. Anyway, we're back here today. We're going to get, we're only here for half a day, really. All right, that overachieving daughter that I had to take into class this morning, she has another class tonight. And same thing tomorrow night. So we're only going to be here for kind of half a day, and then we're going to come back tomorrow maybe. I mean, it's hard to say for sure. I did call for water. We're going to see if they get us some water today. Now that this branch has been dug out, it's time to pack it with organic matter. We've got all these logs here, and I've been picking up some brush from yard work, that sort of thing. We're just going to start packing this thing up. When we cleared this section here that became the Zone 4 timber forest, we ended up with all of this leftover wood. And there was a lot more. Obviously, we used a lot, we burned a lot, we created... We've done a lot with this wood. But right now, we're putting this wood to use in the banana circles. When I build one of these branches, the first thing I do is we pack it with the wood. We've got all this wood. We're just going to fill it with as much wood as possible. Then, after that, we follow it behind with smaller things. Grass cuttings. We've got a bunch of branch trimmings from a landscape job that we just pack in here. And the goal is eventually this whole thing will be packed with strictly organic matter. The wood is actually very good because it does two purposes. First and foremost, it acts like a sponge. This wood absorbs the moisture, packs with water, and just soaks it up. And it'll hold it for a long time. So there's continual moisture long after the water has gone. Right. Secondly, and just as important, the wood is going to bring fungi. We've got a massive amount of fungi in here. If you look right there, that thing, you can see the fungi on that piece of wood. By filling this with wood first, we are basically seeding fungi into here. And fungi is the teeth of the forest. Fungi is critical in the communication of the underground world. So we want as much fungi as possible in here. And by throwing all this wood in, we're seeding the area with fungi. Here is something that we're going to put into the food forest. And actually, I'm thinking we're going to plant a bunch of these in the banana circles. Maybe a little in the food forest. But this is lemongrass. Here in Jamaica, they call it fever grass. My guy here, he got this stuff. He says it's lemongrass. So we're going to plant this stuff throughout the banana circles, I think. Right here, we got something I wanted you guys to see. If you remember when we did this, when we started planting this food forest here, what we had right here was a big, huge pile of wood chips. And we didn't get to dirt until we used all the wood chips that were here in the food forest. But if you look carefully, this is the healthiest section of the food forest. Look at how dark green all this alfalfa is. Right here. See how green this is? Now take a look right over there. See how not green that is? You can literally see the outline of the wood chip pile by how green the alfalfa is. These alfalfa are just shockingly bigger and greener and healthier, and everything is better about them compared to over here. Or look at this. This. And then this. That's the difference that the pile of wood chips made. Now next to it, take a look right here. See this? This is one of those sunflowers. These sunflowers are bigger than I've ever had sunflowers get. I've tried to grow sunflowers here before, and normally they get about this big. They get about this big here, or maybe not even that big, and then they die. But look at this one. The biggest sunflower on the property is where we used to have a pile of wood chips. I'm not going to say that these are the only sunflowers we've got growing, because that's not true. We've got a lot of really good looking sunflowers. But it's really the alfalfa that's grown best in this spot. Really is surprising the difference. I really am hoping that this alfalfa will actually go to seed and we can grow some more of it. And alfalfa really isn't meant to grow in the kind of heat we get. So I'm not all that hopeful that this stuff's gonna do real well. But I'm encouraged when I see it look like this. This is the best any of the alfalfa that I've grown has ever looked right here. And if I can get some of this stuff to go to seed and get some seeds out of it, we might be able to start breeding an alfalfa that will grow here and do well here. To be honest, I'm growing a lot of stuff here that shouldn't grow. All right, alfalfa is a key example of something that really shouldn't grow. It's too hot for alfalfa to do. Same thing with these sunflowers. It's too hot here. I don't know if they will grow. I just threw them because I wanted to get as much diversity as possible, and I had that big bag of big bag of sunflower seeds. But take a look at some of these sunflower, I call them trees. These are looking really good. The deeper their roots go, the more water they're going to get, and the more likely they're going to survive. The goal is to get them big enough and the roots deep enough that they will survive the heat when the real hot weather comes. Oh, we're making progress. We got a lot of the wood in place. Now we're starting to get into some of the bags of grass that we had, and we I had filled the truck with some brush that we got from the development I live in. They were doing some pruning, and now we're time for us to take a trip. We're going to take a ride out, and we're going to get some more cuttings. See, look, we got all this grass. These guys, they do the grass cutting around here, and the problem is they have no idea what to do with all this. Me, I can use it all. This guy finally got my number. For some reason we had a miscommunication. I thought he had my number. He didn't have it. So now we're gonna have to come back here to get the next. We're gonna have to come back here to get the rest of these. At least we got us some nice grass that we can put to use. This grass will probably make it look like we filled it, but I know what happens. This stuff will all compress down. It's not going to look nearly as full in a week, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Again, we pick all the garbage out of this. Sometimes some of these have got more garbage than others, but mostly it's just grass. I need to get into that beehive and see if they pulled out any queen cells from that comb that we put in. If we don't get a queen soon, we're going to have a real serious problem with that hive. I talked to my bee guy this morning, and he said he's ran into an issue. We're going to take care of that with the new beehive, but he's also needs me to let him know if we get a queen in this, because if we don't, he's going to bring me a queen, because we really need a queen. So I'm going to take a look in that beehive today before we go. Now, last time we were in the bees, I commented about the fact that I saw a hive beetle. And one of my subscribers, one of you, she said to put breadfruit leaves in the smoker to drive out the hive beetles. She said also works on mites. So we got a bunch of breadfruit leaves that I got off a tree this morning. We're going to put them in the smoker with the grass and everything else, and hopefully they'll have the desired effect. All we're looking for today is to see if we've got queen cells. That's it. If we have a queen, I'll be even happier. We want to see if there's a queen, but we're looking to see if they started pulling queen cells. There was no queen in it the other day. All right, no queen. No queen. There's no queen. I don't have any idea where she is. We've got a few queen cells that have been opened, but there's no queen. And there's no sign of her either. The only place we see any larvae or eggs is in that frame that I brought from the other hive last week. So I'm going to talk to the bee guy tonight, and hopefully by this weekend we'll have a queen to put in here. Well, guys, I don't know what to say. We don't have a queen. That's a problem. I don't know what to do about the fact we don't have a queen. I have a couple ideas. Like I said, I'm going to talk to my bee guy tonight and get some ideas from him. I'm hoping by this weekend we have a second hive here, and he's got a good look at this one to figure out what we can do about it. So that's it for the bees. Today it was a short day. Half day. I said a half day. I've got to go pick up the shy one to take her to her class this evening, but I did want to get some stuff done, and since we're here, we got a lot done. Now this right here is our first banana circle. As you see, we filled it with logs, and then we covered it with the grass. Now there's a lot of, this is going to pack down. This isn't enough to really hold it. We're going to need at least twice as much grass as we got today to totally cover this, but it's a good step. As this dries out, it'll settle. Once we get water through the system, that'll help it settle too. But as you see, we filled all of these with, and then we did get some grass on top of most of it. Obviously not all of it, but a lot of it. All we need is organic matter in here, because packing this with organic matter will feed all the stuff we want to grow here. All the wood's going to give us a good fungal base. So we're happy with this. I'm happy with the results, at least what we started here. We've got a long way to go, obviously, but it's definitely a good step in the right direction. We're packing up now, heading home. I'm going to get some lunch before I pick up the shy one.